How the last 5 years have been before we come back to the city. We're going to talk about the product and finally our future plans and the launch in Chennai. So, first, a little bit about the electric vehicle market. We've been hearing a lot about, in the last few months especially, electric has certainly become very, very exciting, right? But this is not for no reason. There are a lot of really solid reasons around the product and the cost and the economics of all of it that have made electric uniquely perfect for the two-wheeler market in the country today. I'm going to just lay a bunch of data points that sort of give you that sense why electric makes so much sense today. First, electric is basically very, very compelling for a variety of reasons. First reason is around the product itself. A typical electric two-wheeler for the same power level will always be about 25 to 30% faster, 25 to 30% quicker. It'll have a better acceleration than a comparable petrol scooter. And you can see that in the specs of the 450 compared to any 110cc petrol scooter in the market. In fact, the power level of a 450 is actually 100% torque available right from the word go. Right? No petrol vehicle today in the market can ever match that. And that's not unique about Ather, that's actually an electric vehicle trait. When you have so much torque available, that is why you can pull off that kind of an acceleration level right from word go. And which is why electric is known for its zippiness, which customers really, really enjoy. 90% lesser moving parts. Actually, the numbers even more than that. An electric vehicle has far lower number of moving parts than a typical petrol scooter. What this implies, it implies a far higher amount of reliability for an electric drivetrain compared to a petrol vehicle. A lot of us, because we haven't seen great electric products in the market, actually might worry that, what is the life of an electric vehicle going to be like? But if you think about it, an electric vehicle is fundamentally two, three things. It is a motor, which is an extremely stable technology. Motors don't derate, motors don't slow down, motors don't lose efficiency over even a decade worth of performance, even more usually. There's a charger, which is a piece of electronics, electrical hardware that has been perfected over decades and decades of work. And third is a battery, which as time is going by, every year the performance is improving. Cheaper to run than a petrol scooter. And this is data from actually on the field. In the field, this is what today 450 customers spend. About 30 paise per kilometer instead of a 2 rupees per kilometer for typical petrol scooter. The difference is huge, and because most of us will spend more money in running the vehicle than the vehicle cost itself, this is a difference that matters a lot, especially in a market like India. Second thing, electric vehicles, given the extremely high reliability here, have a lower cost of maintenance. Typically, you will spend almost half the cost in maintaining an electric vehicle, given that you don't have to worry about oil changes or oil filters or scrubbers or carburetors or any of these components. The total cost of repair and maintenance of an electric vehicle is far lower, giving it better running cost. The third vertical is the product cost itself. Over the last few years, the cost of things that go inside an electric vehicle has been constantly falling down. And the most prominent that everybody's heard about again and again is the cost of the battery. Over the last 10 years, the cost of a lithium-ion battery pack has fallen by 5 times. It's an immense fall, and possibly the single biggest reason why electric vehicles have suddenly become extremely lucrative and extremely sensible for the end consumer. Going from something like $1,000 a kilowatt hour to $200 a kilowatt hour, this is now starting to reach levels where a lithium-ion battery pack is about the same price as a lead-acid battery pack. At these price levels, it is becoming extremely viable once scale comes in to price an electric vehicle closer to a petrol scooter. Which is why, even if I go 5 years back when we started Ather, a lot of the things that we did was a bet. But now with the current battery prices, a lot of this has become real fact. It's become extremely viable to launch an electric vehicle in the country today. Second thing, 50% fewer components. Electric vehicles has not just lesser moving part, it has just generally lower number of components than a petrol vehicle. What this translates into is it implies a lower capex for assembly, it implies a faster assembly and hence a lower assembly cost, a benefit that again gets passed on to the customers. Electric vehicles manufactured at scale will cost lesser to manufacture and assemble than a typical petrol vehicle. And the fourth vertical is sustainability. Today, and a lot of you might actually have this question, so we're sort of preempting this. We charge electric vehicles using the Indian grid, and it's not all clean. So what's the point? There is a huge point. Even if you use our Indian average grid, which is almost 70% thermal power generation and coal power generation, and only 30% is renewable. Despite using that grid, the emissions of an Ather 450, which is a pretty powerful scooter, compared to a typical 110cc petrol scooter, almost a 3 times difference. And this number will only keep improving as our grid gets cleaner and cleaner every year. We are adding 150 gigawatt hour of renewables capacity over the next 4 to 5 years. That will make this number even better. This number will go down something like 15 to 18 grams per kilometer over the next few years. So whatever way you cut it, and by the way, if you use solar to power your electric vehicles, it's zero. So the CO2 emissions from a typical petrol vehicle or electric vehicle are going to be dramatically lower, even if you use the Indian national grid. So you don't have to worry about it. Second thing, and this is actually very less discussed, so we wanted to add this here, lesser heat generator. So what you don't realize is that a typical petrol combustion engine will have a 25 to 28% efficiency on average. A typical electric drivetrain will be 85 to 90% efficient. What this means is that a petrol scooter will burn off 70% of its energy in heat. A typical electric motor will burn off 10% of its energy in heat. That extra efficiency difference, where does it go? It goes in heating the engine. It goes in heating the vehicle. And that heat over millions and millions of vehicles on our roads today adds up. So today our cities have two problems. First, we are emitting more carbon, which increases the average temperature. But the second reason, which is not discussed enough, is that we are heating our vehicles like crazy. All those vehicles, millions of vehicles on the road, add up a lot of heat and actually heat up a city significantly. Tomorrow, if magically all vehicles became electric, our cities would immediately cool down. And that's a very big impact that is actually not discussed enough. You take all these points together, electric basically implies a better product, a better cost of ownership, it can be produced at a better cost structure, and it is far more sustainable for the environment. It's not a surprise that with all these factors, the government is now starting to jump in. Right? Many of these points were not necessarily true 5 or 10 years back, and hence electric wasn't probably very opportune at that time. But with all these factors coming in around the battery, around the kind of efficiencies we have reached, and around the level of maturity of our electronics, all of this put together is making electric extremely lucrative for the Indian market. Which is why the policy push from DHI, NITI Aayog, everywhere is to get our industry to move away from petrol-driven vehicles to electric vehicles. Because for some of those interns, some of the consultants, so really tiny effort back then. We had no facilities. We camped out of IT Madras labs. We obviously had no products, no charging infrastructure. We had one patent that really did not account, getting a lot of owners, and some of these owners have been extremely supportive. They have built a community around our product. It's an online community which is very strong. These guys have been doing meetups together, they've been doing fold-ups, they've been doing designing accessories, and they've been some of our biggest supporters till date. So 5 years in, we built all of this, and now we're back to Chennai, from the R&D center to the manufacturing facilities and the experience center. We've launched 2 products and a charging infrastructure. We have built up a strong patent portfolio with 51 patents, some of them filed internationally now. And we've been lucky enough to have some. It's not only good enough, it is actually a zero compromise product. And that's delivered with the kind of performance the vehicle has, the kind of handling it has, which is honestly one of the best in the entire scooter category in the country. An extremely convenient product and an LCC category. In fact, it is one of the fastest even in the 125cc category. A typical 110cc scooter will be something like 5.3 seconds. It has a top speed of 80 kilometers per hour, which is right up there with almost any other scooter in the market. In fact, our customers have done more than 80 kilometers per hour. That's and manufactured in-house by Ather, and they allow us to offer an extremely predictable range. And what I mean by that is, these are the numbers that ARI claims for us, right? Our certified range of the Ather 450 is an average customer is already getting 69, with a lot of customers getting way more than 69 kilometers. The average distance traveled is 17 kilometers per day, and 90% of the trips that are happening in Bangalore are less than 34 kilometers. What that means is that the range of the Ather 450 is not only acceptable, it is good enough for several days worth of usage. And when I said that the average is 69, customers are doing more, here is an incredible data point. One of our own on a single charge, over 4.5 hours of driving, using only 90% charge. Which means this customer got almost 120 kilometers of range on a single charge. And he is not alone. If you go and check our online community, you will see many such people who are getting almost double the range that Ather promises. Right? So we are setting a new benchmark of how do you discuss range and mileage numbers per hour. However, in the reverse mode, it has the entire torque of 20 Newton meter available to you. What that means is, when you park your vehicle on a side of the road or in a ditch or on the mud and you've got vehicles all around you, you can pull the vehicle back very comfortably. A lot of people otherwise are forced to ask people to help them pull the vehicle back. It's very inconvenient, it's painful. One of the pain points of using a two-wheeler, you don't need to do that with a 450. You've got a reverse mode on the vehicle. Audit at your location, we will come install a charging point at your location. We can work with your association complexes, we can take care of your electrical requirements and make sure that a charging point is installed at your house. And this is not just independent houses. In fact, the bulk of our installations today in Bangalore happen in multi-story apartment complexes. Right? We have done many such installations. I think right now we are doing more than 2 dozen installations a day, and we have had more than a 99% success rate in these installations. So contrary to what you might imagine, installing a charging point in your house is something that is extremely simple and something that Ather now has a lot of experience on. Right? So before you get the vehicle, we'll make sure you have a charging point at your house, one that can charge your vehicle overnight. It takes 2.5 hours for an 80% charge. You will come back home, you will plug the vehicle into charging, and when you wake up, you will always wake up to a fully charged vehicle. Right? And the kind of range the product has, even if you do not charge for a couple of days, you're not going to have a problem. However, there have been some changes recently. We had a really positive announcement happen a couple of days back, where the government announced a new in the budget, a possible GST division from 12% to 5%. We are still awaiting the final confirmation from the GST Council, but the minute the GST Council approves this change, the price of the Ather 450 revises down from 1,31,000 to 1,22,000. So we are waiting for this clarity, but once we have the clarity, the price will come down to almost 9,000 rupees. Beyond this, there's another price change, there's another benefit that customers will be able to get. Because the government has announced a further tax exemption if you take the vehicle on EMI. So should you take an EMI on a product, and we have those partners online already, you will get an additional 8,000 rupees saving over a 4-year period. So overall, the 450 becomes significantly more affordable by the time we are launching in Chennai now. Refundable deposit upfront, then you will pay about 2,500 rupees per month, and with that fee, you get the product. But in addition to just getting the scooter, you also get these things. All SIM card and the software upgrades that I spoke about are also included in the price. And your commitment is as low as 12 months. So if you want, after 12 months of petrol 110cc scooter on the road, 2,500 rupees